Welcome back to the Cabin Podcast. This is a bonus episode. I'm Andrea Belke.
And I'm Megan Christian. And today we are talking about all things Rhinelander today with Lauren Sackett. She's the CEO of the Rhinelander Area Chamber of Commerce. So welcome.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And then we also have Josh back in the cabin.
I'm just here to learn.
But Josh, you have to say why you're here for this Rhinelander episode.
I am a Hodag. I was born and raised in Rhinelander, the finest community along Highway 8, and I will say north of Highway 8 as well. Don't take any offense to any other communities, but
we're going to put a historical marker. Josh was birthed here.
It has my favorite pizza. Okay. Which, by the way, I was at a wedding this weekend with other Rhinelander folks who now live in other parts of the state, and I asked them, what is your favorite pizza? And they all said the same thing. So
not what he thinks it is.
I'm confirmed, though. I was confirmed.
Wait, what's the
verdict?
Well, I think Dina Me is the best pizza in Rhinelander.
Oh, in Rhinelander or in Wisconsin or in general?
Well, I would say the state of Wisconsin.
Okay.
It is my favorite pizza. I grew up. We can get into it. I mean, that's
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of bases to cover here, but Lauren, I just want to start off by asking you, are you from Rhinelander originally? How did you land there? Kind of give us the rundown.
Yeah, I am from Rhinelander originally. I was born and raised there, graduated from the high school, so also a born and raised Hodag. Moved away for a while for school, spent some time in another state, and eventually moved back to the area. I've been at the chamber for about 11 years now.
Wait, so you both started this by saying, I'm a Hodag. I'm kind of curious, is it like Santa? Is there a certain age where your parents sit you down and they go, we have to tell you about the Hodag?
You know, in all honesty, I don't really remember growing up it really being a big thing that we needed to talk about. It was just there. It existed. And
so it's just like common knowledge that everyone who lives in Rhinelander knows kind of the tale of the Hodag.
Yeah. I don't ever remember learning about it in school or anything like that. You just knew what it was.
Yeah, I don't think I learned about it until I was an adult, until I filmed in Rhinelander.
Yeah.
And you enjoy the Hodag, right?
Oh, yeah. I love it. Well, the thing about this episode, we wanted to kind of dive into some of the hidden gems or things you might not know about Rhinelander.
Yes.
Because I do think most people know about the Hodag.
Yeah.
Yes, for
sure.
sure.
So what is something you think, when you think about things people don't know, what kind of rises to the top for you, Lauren?
Something that's really rising to the top right now because it's football season is our ties to football that most people probably wouldn't know. Well, for one, the high school plays in Mike Webster Stadium. Mike Webster was a center for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he grew up in the Tomahawk Rhinelander area and played for our school. So we have ties to the NFL there. But something that's super interesting, college football, John Heisman, the namesake of the Heisman Trophy, is actually buried in Rhinelander.
I saw that. And the reason for it is because his wife, her family was from there, right?
Yes.
And she moved back after he had passed.
Yep, she moved back to be with her sister who lived in the area and brought him back with her and buried him in Rhinelander.
Very fitting for football season. Lots of football ties to Rhinelander.
Yeah.
And isn't the airport very decked out, right?
Yeah, so a few years ago, the Spars family donated this big collection of NFL memorabilia. Definitely a lot of Packer stuff, but additional teams as well. So if you fly into the airport, you can see that display, and it's really a large collection of memorabilia. It's really cool.
Yeah, and the Hodag Dome as well.
The Hodag Dome. So that's new, and we're really excited to have that facility. It is the nation's largest high school owned or school district owned dome in the country. So that's really cool. It's 128,000 square feet. It has a full football field in it, which also doubles as a soccer pitch or softball diamonds. So we host a lot of collegiate softball tournaments in there. But then it has pickleball courts, tennis courts that can double as a basketball court, batting cages, a little bit of everything inside this facility.
So Lauren actually introduced me to the people that run the dome. The dome has been, that's recent. Like, when was it built?
It was fully put into commission in 2021.
Okay, so well after my time, but I would follow up and I would see the updates and whatnot, but I'd never been inside the dome. And And I would ask my parents, have you been in the Dome? And they hadn't been in the Dome. And it's like, okay, well, this looks pretty neat. Well, then she set me up with the people that run the Dome and they gave me a tour. As I'm walking through it, there's a golf simulator. There was a batting cage. There was people playing soccer, people running routes on a football field. There was a basketball court. There was tennis courts. And there's a track that people were walking.
Wow.
And it's like, what is this? And so then, the community has the ability to get passes very cheap to utilize it, throughout the year. But then the little nugget of knowledge was, and don't quote me on it, I think it's like $40 non-resident. You can get access to this thing. So once I heard that, it's like, oh, we got to get a non-resident pass, because like you go up there and if the rain is coming in and you don't want to sit at your cabin, your resort, or your parents' house, in my case, then you can go and you can utilize the Dome, and it's this beautiful facility. And it keeps on bringing like teams and other people to the community that, it's whether it's baseball tournaments, softball tournaments, and the weather, as we know, the weather can be, winter can hold on. When it shows up, it can actually hold on for a little bit longer than it is in the other parts of the state. So baseball season always started a little bit later, but now it's such a game changer.
Well, so do people can people that live in Rhinelander use it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Residents, $15 for the year for you
for the year
to be able to use it. Yes, and there is a non-resident
golf simulator. Right. Say less.
But what's really cool about it was it started like a big community effort, and essentially the community recognized that our high schoolers were playing baseball. I was on the golf team when I was in high school. Like we were practicing in the halls, and we didn't have the space to be able to get started on spring sports. And that's really kind of how it started. And it just snowballed into this big thing that we have. We do host, like I said, a lot of collegiate softball tournaments. That's kind of what they're known for right now because it is a dome. It is, I believe it's 75 feet tall at its peak, which is perfect for being able to host softball events. But they have a big wrestling tournament that they do every year. A lot of outside events that come in. We actually host an expo in there too. It's very multi-use, very cool thing for us to have.
For people having a hard time kind of coming up with a picture of what this looks like, it's essentially this gigantic white bubble just kind of in the middle of everything.
My kids call it the marshmallow.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, Josh, what high school sports, if any, did you play?
If any. Okay. It's because I'm sweating in here because the podcast room is on fire.
Maybe you were into music. I don't know much about your high school life.
I was a track guy. I also golfed for a short time. I was in basketball. We had a little thing called powerlifting, and it was all because I was a football guy. And I actually played with Dave Webster, Mike Webster's relative. So shout out Dave Webster. Good egg. But so we were, the facilities that we had at that point were not to the level that they are today. Now there's been such an investment by the community and donors, everything. Like the Dome is a game changer. The football field that we played on the grass was in rough shape. There was potholes and stuff in it. They did a good job managing what they could with it, but it was just, it was not in a perfect area. Now there's a nice turf field. They play soccer on it. They play football on it. The track is in really good shape. The stadium is actually much better than what it was. Inside the high school, they have a field house now. We used to have this tight little gym that was really intimidating for teams to come in and play, but it would hamstring us where gymnastics would have to practice in the cafeteria. And, so it just was not a good setup for facilities. Now the facilities are top notch. I don't know of a school that has better facilities.
Well, if anyone's listening and needs somewhere to send their kid for school and they're into sports, sounds like Rhinelander's the place to be. I did sports, but I was also a music girl, and I know you were too, Andrea. And actually Rhinelander has a pretty big live music scene. So can you kind of speak on the music scene in Rhinelander?
Yes, of course. Well, everyone knows we have Hodag Country Music Festival.
Yes.
It's one of the longest standing outdoor music festivals around.
What month is that usually in?
That is always in July, the weekend after whenever the 4th of July happens to be. So coming up this next year is going to be their 48th year. Wow. So really long-standing music festival, always a fun time to, come to Rhinelander. A lot of big name country music artists that'll come. But aside from that, we have a brand new amphitheater in Hodag Park. It's only a couple years old, and the community is rallied around hosting this summer concert series, which has been really fun. So every other Tuesday in the summer, we have live music outside right on Boom Lake in Hodag Park, which is really cool. Very scenic backdrop. And then there's just been a lot of bars and restaurants that have really started to love the idea of hosting regular live music. So, I mean, every Friday or Saturday, you are bound to find something.
There's nothing better in the summer than just chilling by the lake, listening to live music.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine really a better backdrop for the music. So the sun is always setting behind where they're singing, and it's just a really great.
Yeah, when I filmed in Rhinelander, I remember being really impressed by the live music scene and also some of the just artsy elements. I know that you obviously have a lot of painted Hodags, which is really cool, but I feel like they really embrace art and history. Can you kind of talk about options if you go to Rhinelander, maybe with museums or some of the more historical elements people can explore?
Yes. So you did mention the painted Hodag statues. What most people don't know is that we have like a whole map that'll lead you around the community to go and find those, which is really cool. They were all hand painted by different artists over the course of a few years. They're all about 10 years old or so now, but it's really cool. We just keep adding more murals and things like that. But something super unique. We are home to a really old logging museum complex. The Pioneer Park Historical Complex has been around for a long time. Not always within Pioneer Park. It actually used to be over near where our paper mill area is. But it is home to one of the longest standing CCC museums. So that's the Civilian Conservation Corps. And see, I told you were going to learn some stuff. But it is, so the CCC was a federal 1930s era program that helped pull the country out of the Great Depression, and they planted over 200 million trees in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. So we have the one of the first CCC museums in the country, and we have a really extensive collection. So that's just one of the 7 buildings that we have within the Pioneer Park Historical Complex. There's a one-room schoolhouse. There's a railroad museum. There's a boat motor museum, which is really cool. There's a huge collection of old boat motors, but it's pretty extensive, the different things within this one museum.
So I actually learned that Rhinelander is named after someone. I kind of thought that was interesting because a lot of Wisconsin towns are named after Native American tribes, different lakes in the area. So can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, so a lot of people think that Rhinelander comes from the German heritage that a lot of people in Wisconsin have, but it does not. So Rhinelander was originally called Pelican Rapids, and that's because we are kind of right at the confluence of the Wisconsin and Pelican rivers. So Wisconsin River flows right through town, the Pelican River joins it, and they had named it Pelican Rapids. However, the Brown family that helped start Rhinelander really wanted to bring the railroad to town. They knew that was the next natural step for our community to continue to grow. And so they renamed the town Rhinelander, kind of in a form of flattery for F.W. Rhinelander. He was the owner of the Milwaukee Railroad at the time. So it's his last name. They renamed the town Rhinelander to bring the railroad to town, and it worked. He did bring the railroad to town, but he never actually came to visit the town that was named after him.
Interesting. Josh, you're making faces over there.
Look, this is why I wanted having Lauren come in and explain Rhinelander. It's I've been gone long enough that hearing new businesses and hearing some of this stuff is really kind of exciting because it's like I get to be a tourist again. And I think I've explained before, if I go to Northwoods Golf Course, which you said you were on the golf team, you have history at Northwoods. We're going to talk about your favorite golf course up there. But that's my favorite golf course in the entire state. I'll say that. I'm very biased, but it's my favorite golf course. So I had to pay non-resident the last time I was there. And you know who I am? But it was one of those things where it's okay, it was a tough pill to swallow. But, there's certain things I think I know about Rhinelander, but there's all this new stuff. that I like to hear, like all the changes, because Lauren and your team and all the people in Rhinelander are doing such a great job of reinventing what Rhinelander is and holding on to the heritage, but also like looking towards the exciting businesses and future and all the things that we can do. So it's really kind of neat. But to hear that it used to be called Pelican Rapids and to be named after somebody else, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Pelican Rapids thing. Yeah.
No. Have you ever been on the Pelican River? Do you kayak?
Yes, a couple years ago, I kayaked the Pelican River all the way down to the confluence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It's fun stuff.
So you're learning things. Did you know that there is or was a secret tunnel under Rhinelander?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I didn't. So tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yes, so there is a secret, well, it's not so much a secret anymore. But in 2016, we did a big major streetscape project. A lot of our downtown roads were ripped up, but there is an old bank. It was Associated Bank at the time of construction. Very old building right on Davenport Street, and then right across the street is where they had their drive-through branch. And there is a tunnel underneath Stevens Street.
What was it used for? Do you know?
So it was a lot of the time used for the banking industry. Okay. Who knows? Maybe it had some prohibition ties or something like that. We could speculate. But yes, the tunnel does go right underneath the road there.
And the old drive-through is now what?
It is now Da Bar.
Da Bar.
Bar.
So you're talking music venues. They have music at that. Like the place where I used to drive in and do some banking. Now is like it's a nice.
It's a really cool outdoor patio space now. They revamped it, and yes, they are one of the establishments that does live music weekly.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I feel like that's kind of the perfect segue into food, maybe? Drink scene? What's there to do in Rhinelander for that?
There is so much amazing dining in Rhinelander. Some like restaurants maybe you wouldn't expect. Crimson Cafe is always a highlight. They actually have a lot of Thai, Indian, Asian cuisine, which you might not expect in the Northwoods. But really, really great food. We have obviously your typical supper clubs, a few longstanding ones. Fireside has been around for a long time, but newer to the scene is Wally's South 17, a really great restaurant. So much food.
She looks at that.
There's so much food.
Okay, look at the guy that's sweating inside the podcast studio. Okay, I think it would. CT Deli downtown is this, I remember it as the Elbow Room, and they have kept like that kind of it's a nice design when you walk into the bar area, and then you get to have their sandwiches. Have you eaten there?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really good food. And they have a cookie there too, by the way.
I had it.
Yeah. It's like, it's thick, it's big. It's so good.
So something really awesome about the cookie. So that's created by Butcher Shop Bake Company. And he now is in Save More in Minocqua, the Triggs grocery stores up by us, and Festival Foods over in the Green Bay Market. You can now get his cookies.
I need to spend some more time in Rhinelander. Only place I've eaten there is Taco Bell.
What? Oh, yeah. No, we need to get you some other places.
Josh is rolling his eyes so hard.
But so like I had CT Deli for the first time just a few years ago, and now it's a must stop every time I go back. It's really good. You introduced us to is it Tilly's?
Tilly's, yep.
Tilly's was excellent. There's a wine bar there. It's is it 151 Brown
Street 151, really great dinner spot.
Yep. You still got the old classics like the cafe and pub.
Yep.
Like there's a few that have gone away, like the El Gen. I still think that was my favorite fish fry in the entire state of Wisconsin, but it's gone now. But they have these great places that you can go. There's dining on the water, like with Fireside. And then how far is Wally's from the water?
It's a little ways from the water. It's near the Lake Julia area.
Okay.
It used to be Shady Sue's, if anybody remembers that. But yeah, really, really great restaurant. A lot of great like steak and seafood options. But yes, a lot of options on the lake, especially like the Lake George, Rhinelander Resorts area. Flicks Bar and Resort is used to be Fisher's.
Yep.
They definitely also have live music, like we were talking about, but a lot of great restaurants. Holiday Acres.
I love Holiday Acres. I stayed there.
Yeah. Lake Thompson. Their Three Coins restaurant is really great too. So the dining is just amazing.
Yeah. And you had mentioned Tilly's. I will say, if you're someone like me and you're a big coffee snob, or even like if you love organic, made from scratch, all locally sourced, I'm really into that stuff. Tilly's just nails it.
Yes.
I mean, if I'm even driving close to the area, I'll always stop at Tilly's. Even if I'm driving like up north for a Discover Wisconsin shoot, like I make a point to just make a little detour because I that's one of my favorite spots. I think in the state. Like I love their food. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm such a, like, I love coffee and I love like really good breakfast. Yeah. And Tilly's is my jam.
Yeah. So let's say,
the Briar House.
Let's say I want to get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and drinks after dinner in Rhinelander. Where am I going?
Ooh, that's hard.
So Dinky Diner, I'm not going to answer for you, but Dinky Diner has been around now for a while. There was a fire at one of their last location, and then where did they open up downtown?
So it reopened downtown. Now it's called the Not So Dinky Diner because it is a little bit bigger than it was. That's a great breakfast spot. Tilly's is also a really great breakfast spot. Lunch, CT's, Crimson would be your good bets. Dinner, 151, Fireside, the pub, good options. Drinks. We do have the Rhinelander Brewing Company, which has a lot of history in Rhinelander. You know, they were one of the first breweries that made the Shorty, a little 7-ounce bottle of a beer. And then
a Shorty.
Yeah, so the Rhinelander beer, it's very little
tiny.
Yeah.
It's a little short guy.
A little baby.
Yeah.
And they serve them with Bloody Marys at a lot of places.
Yep. And so right next door to the brewery, if you're not a beer drinker, is the Catalyst Wine Bar, which is a really cool vibe spot. They have these really interesting like wine dispensing machines where you can kind of pick if you want like a taste, a half glass or a full glass. They have, you know, a lot of food, and they also occasionally do live music. Sometimes they do this really fun bingo night. They host art classes there sometimes. So that'd be probably a great spot for drinks.
Okay, other question. Sorry, Josh, but I gotta know, is there any good ice cream places? Because I love going to get ice cream after dinner too.
So, hidden gem, there is a laundromat on Lincoln Street called Campfire Coffee and Creamery, and it's also like in the Washmart laundromat.
That's right.
They have that chocolate shop ice cream, the hard scooped ice cream. My favorite spot to go. I love it.
Wait, so is it
chocolate chop?
Okay, wait. So is it in the laundromat?
So it's like a little ice cream speakeasy.
Yes.
They have a drive-through.
They do.
It used to be the old Hardee's way back when there was a Prangy Way there. And the old shop. What's there now? It's like L&H.
So there's an L&M, there's a Hobby Lobby, so in that same area. But yeah, it's a laundromat, and then they do have coffee and the hard scoop ice cream. That's like the spot to go. Something really fun they started this summer, and I love it, is a flight of ice cream. You get to pick 4 different flavors, and it's $10.
Sometimes you just can't make up your mind.
Yes,
and that is okay.
Wait, I love that. I love a little speakeasy laundry, because you can also do your laundry.
You
right?
can.
Wow.
Okay, nice.
What about is Fun Factory have ice cream, or they just have some of the best candy I've ever had?
So they do have ice cream. They also hand make all of their gelato. So they have a gelato in there as well. And they actually do gelato carts that they'll do all around for special events and weddings and things like that. But they do sell it at the Fun Factory. But then, yes, they have all of your typical like homemade chocolates and fudge and a lot of Hodag themed treats. You can get like Hodag paw prints and things like that.
Cute.
But a really great option in downtown Rhinelander. But yes, they do have ice cream.
So a lot of the stuff we're talking about is downtown Rhinelander. But even if you're starting to think, okay, if I was to go outside of town, you have like everybody that comes in on Highway 8 is going to see the Town Pump. Town Pump has great food, and you know their fish fries. You know it's been a hot spot for fish fries for a long time. We actually stopped there after we were all coming back. It was a Discover Wisconsin thing. We were going through town, and we decided to stop and have their burgers. The burgers were great. And if you're on the other side of town, if you're going up on 47. It's one of those where, I mean, sometimes it's closed, sometimes it's open, depending on ownership, I would say, but backwaters. That's a cool location. If they're up and running and everything's going, the food has always been pretty consistent. And it's something like when you have the channel of the Wisconsin River and you're either kayaking or boating, a lot of people will take their pontoons and they'll go up and down the channel. And what I mean by that is like is it what's growing in the water? Is it wild rice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Boom Lake is where, like I mentioned, Hodag Park earlier, and you can take the river going north. You're heading up the river towards the McNaughton area. And there's a lot of great stops along the way. Pine Harbor, the Blind Pig, backwaters. But yes, there are wild rice paddies up in that northern part of the river. So it's really cool. You definitely want to refer to a map if you're going to go that way, because there are kind of specific ways you want to make sure you drive your boat through the river there. But a lot of wild rice paddies. We actually just took the boat up there a couple of weeks ago, and we were surprised. We were watching somebody. I think they were starting to pick it. It was super interesting to see.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is that big
I was
stick?"
just going to ask, can anyone go and pick them?
I believe you need some kind of permit through like the DNR or something like that to be able to do it. But it was interesting. I definitely need to go down the rabbit hole on that one to learn about it more.
I have to be honest. I don't even know if I've ever thought about how you get rice. Like, is that how all rice is collected?
Wild rice
for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is pretty amazing to go through that channel. You can't go very fast. I mean, the speed limits on
when you hit a certain point, it is slow no wake for a good portion of the river.
And so it may take a little bit to, if you put in Newbold area and you're going all the way towards Boom Lake, it'll take a while, maybe an hour, especially if you're going to stop at any of the locations along the way. And it's not just a straight path. I mean, they have you weaving like a lot of S curves all the way through. And if you do it early enough in the spring, it's not up yet. So you kind of have to know they put like markers where the channel is. But by going up and down that channel, it's a nice, relaxing boat ride. It's one of my favorite things to do in the summer. You just kind of lean back and you're taking the boat and you're going up. Then you can stop at, let's say backwaters, or Pine Harbor is a great one to stop at. The other one, they've changed their name a couple of times. It used to be the Flying Fin. But what is it now?
The Blind Pig.
The Blind Pig.
Another one of those live music spots. But they're right along the river there. And then if you go a little bit farther up around to the other side of Boom Lake, there's the Jailhouse.
The Jailhouse. They have good pizza. They do. They have really good pizza. So as you're going through and you're enjoying the river, once it opens up where the rice is stopped and the channel is now the entire river, then you can just open it up and it's a lot of fun. Plus they have those islands out in the middle of the water. I mean, that was always, as a kid, you'd always go to one of those islands and hang out. You can fish right there. Are those private?
I believe they are.
Okay.
Estabrook Island might be owned by the city now. I'd have to double check.
Okay, so don't go hanging out on private islands, but regardless, if you open it up and then you can go into Boom Lake, I think it's a beautiful setting. All those little bars and restaurant stops along the way make it fun. But then as you get into Boom Lake, you have Hodag Park. You get off at Hodag Park, you can go and you can watch the that music series at the new amphitheater. I actually love the path at Hodag Park where you can just kind of walk, even if you're not on a boat and you just want to go down and walk the lakeshore at Hodag Park, and you can go from one side to the other. It's a nice little walk. I don't know, is it a half mile, quarter mile? It's not
very long,
super long, but it's beautiful as you're going through. And it's just a nice place to get off and relax, and then you can jaunt around town and do some other stuff. But the river and Boom Lake is a lot of fun to go to, and it doesn't matter if you're pontooning, speedboat, tubing, jet ski, kayak, doesn't matter.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of being on the water, Rhinelander is actually a good spot for fishing, which I don't think people think of Rhinelander for fishing. But isn't it kind of ranked really highly, Lauren?
Yeah. So in 2025, earlier this year, we were actually named one of the top 10 ice fishing destinations in the country by fishingbooker.com, which is the website where you book like a lot of guide services and things like that. We were only one in the top 10 in Wisconsin. And I mean, the ice fishing.
Josh is so proud.
Don't want to toot our own horn, but honk honk.
Yeah.
Huh?
The ice fishing, the fishing is just amazing. It really is. My family does a lot of fishing. My kids have caught some monster fish this year, but I'm not allowed to say on what lakes. You can't really give away.
You gotta keep it a secret.
Go down by the paper mill.
Yeah.
They're big.
There's a lot of, great spots. Hodag Park does have a great public fishing pier for if you don't have a boat. But the Wisconsin River fishing is really great. A lot of smaller lakes. Oneida County has like 1,100 named bodies of water. So, I mean, really, no matter what lake you go to, walleye, panfish, every fall, muskie fishing, really big up by us.
I feel like some people might not know what the Hodag is, and we keep saying it. So for people who don't know what the Hodag is, can you kind of explain this whole Hodag culture to them?
Yes, it is probably the number one asked question we get in the visitor center, of course, because the world's largest Hodag statue is right outside our office. But it is a mythical creature that a local logger by the name of Eugene Shepard claimed he found in the Northwoods in Rhinelander back in the 1890s. So it's been around for a really, really long time. It became the high school mascot, I believe, in the 30s. So long time in our community. And yeah, it's something that has, unique claims to fame as well. A lot of people don't know that the Hodag has a Scooby-Doo episode.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. So if you have Netflix, Scooby-Doo, the newer version, I believe, is called like the Mystery Incorporated, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, I believe. It's season 2, episode 5.
If you're wondering.
Yeah, if you're wondering. It's called The Hodag of Horror, and it's a fun little episode where the gang encounters a Hodag.
Wow.
So,
Is it based in Rhinelander or just is very...
So it's kind of like Eugene Shepard is like a traveling carnival man. So it's not based in Rhinelander, but it does involve Gene and the Hodag.
Did it? I think we did talk about this when I had Badgerland Legends on, but he did make it up. He admitted to that, right?
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I should keep the mystery alive, but never mind.
Basically, if you want to learn more about the Hodag, go to Rhinelander or turn into our episode with Badgerland Legends, because he does talk about it.
Something else really cool, again, most people don't know, J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter series, included the Hodag in her Fantastic Beasts book that kind of accompanies the series. So it's in there as a magical creature as well.
I've seen the movie Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Unfortunately, it doesn't make any appearances in the movies, but it is included as a magical creature in the Harry Potter universe.
Wow. Oh, so she actually writes about it.
Yeah, so the Fantastic Beasts book is kind of this little accompanying like dictionary of sorts, encyclopedia of all the magical creatures. So it is included in that.
Wow. That's really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
And then you also have there's a newsletter you can get in on, right?
Yes. So the Hodag fan club is super popular. People used to not like getting mail, and now people love getting mail again. So we actually...
it's a printed newsletter?
It's a printed newsletter twice a year. Well, you'll have to go sign up, hodagfanclub.com.
Doesn't mail kind of make you feel important?
Yeah.
If it's the Hodag, what is it?
It's the Hodag fan club. So when you first sign up, you get this fun little fan club kit that includes a picture, like a headshot of the Hodag, an official fan club card, a sticker. But then twice a year, kind of seasonally, we send out the fan club piece, the newsletter piece, which usually includes some kind of drawing contest or activity in it, fun jokes, things like that. And then also, if you put your birthday in the sign up, you'll get a postcard in the month of your birthday from the Hodag.
Cute. Wow. Are you even a Hodag, Josh?
Look, you asked what a Hodag was, and it is the mythical creature. It's what we've grown up. To me, the Hodag it's the culture that's instilled in all of us, and it's the passion, and it's the type of people we are.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter where I go in the state. I was just at the Wisconsin Historical Society last week. We were doing a tour. We met somebody that's that does a lot of work for them, and they said something like, "Oh, I'm getting together with my my high school friends, and this lady was older than me." And she's like, "Oh, it's the best time. We love hanging out." And I said, "Oh, where'd you grow up?" And she's like, "Oh, there's a little place called Rhinelander." I'm like, "You're a Hodag?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I go, so am I. And then all of a sudden it was an instant bond. Like we had that shared culture of being a Hodag. I mean, it's just it's the sense of pride that we have within our community and the people around it and whatever the Hodag means. But and when I talk about Rhinelander, we're talking about bodies of water and we're talking about all this new stuff. Like in my mind, I look all over the state, and with Discover Wisconsin, we talk about everywhere. Obviously we have, things that mean a lot to us. We have great bodies of water. We got Lake Julia. We got, a Buck Lake, which is a gem. We got Lake Mildred, Boom Lake, Lake George, Lake Thompson, just go on and on and on of all the great lakes and bodies of water. It's just such a cool area that if you go up and you want to learn about, if you want natural beauty, you have it. But if you want to learn what the Hodag is, you can go to the Hodag store, you can go to you can go to the museum at Pioneer Park. But you started something that, this is why I say it's cool for a Rhinelander person who no longer lives there to go back and visit as a tourist and to experience all the new things that you guys are coming up with. But the new festival you have that celebrates the Hodag.
Yeah. So it's about 5 years old now. The Hodag Heritage Festival. We do that every May, and it's our way of celebrating the community. Obviously, the Hodag's a big piece, but it's really about, celebrating our history and the people. And so we do have a lot of great different things that happen at that festival. We are diving a little bit more into the cryptid side of things. Badgerland Legends has come to our event in the past. But there's like vendors, there's live music, there's a Hodag calling contest.
Where they make a sound?
Yes.
Wait, how do you call
what does it sound like?
I will never be able to replicate some of those amazing calls.
Is it a growl?
Yeah, what would it be?
There's a lot of different interpretations.
We've heard so you kind of come up with your own call.
Yeah, so you can just sign up as an individual to come up on stage and give us your best Hodag call. And
Megan, we do it.
Megan, what would you do? I would just
like
yeah, right?
No, mine would be like a
I see.
Yep.
Oh, you make a growl to bring it in, not just okay.
Yeah.
And Josh, what's yours? We just did it. You're up
so
next.
I'm calling a Hodag in.
You're calling a Hodag in.
Oh, calling a Hodag in. I'm not the Hodag.
Oh, I thought it was like you're calling like you're
trying to get the Hodag.
Oh, but then I would not have growled.
But Megan's makes sense. You could attract a Hodag by pretending you're a Hodag.
I was thinking like we're pretending to be the Hodag.
But how would you call a Hodag?
Mr. Hodag, I got a cold one because we were the #1 community for bars per capita for a long time, right?
Oh. I think you're right. I don't know if we still are, but
I don't think we are now, but
yeah. But the Hodag calling contest is super unique. We have, a judges panel that'll like rate them all and we'll award a winner. We've done like this cool art contest. We've seen some really cool like Hodag themed art. Some new fun things that we're planning for 2026. Can't announce them yet because it's new and exciting, but it should be another really great time.
And that's a great festival to bring kids to.
Yeah.
I know I've seen videos. They do a live reenactment, right? That I think the kids just eat up. They love it.
Yeah, we have a captured Hodag that we usually try to wake up a couple times during the festival. We have not yet been successful.
Our guy's sleeping.
Well, we have a few minutes left, so I want to make sure we touch on a few more things that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe the golf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a really good golf course there.
Yeah, it really is a hidden gem.
Right.
I've seen a lot of like reels and videos of people talking about Wisconsin golf courses, and they're sleeping on Northwoods.
They are.
It is a really great golf course, 18 holes. It's municipal owned, so the city does own it. But it is a really great golf course. And over the last few years, it's really kind of also expanded beyond the golf. They've always had different like ski trails and stuff. In the winter, the driving range doubles as a tubing hill.
A dangerous tubing hill too. It's so fun.
It is
so
very,
fun.
very fast. Pick your lane wisely.
Correct.
But they've also added single track mountain bike routes out there. So they added a trail now that goes completely around the golf course. I believe it's about 12 miles of trails that they are adding out there, which is really great.
Are you talking like summertime?
Summer mountain biking.
Or fall too, I bet.
Yeah.
It's good for fall.
And they're working on expanding that, but that has been a really welcomed addition. It's called the Heel Creek Trails.
Great.
We've hosted a couple dog sled races out there of the last couple of Februarys, which is really cool. But the golf course is really great.
It's top notch. And then they have the Nordic ski in the wintertime.
Yeah,
so that golf course is a gorgeous golf course, and I always call it Little Augusta. So like it's very tight fairways, it's not forgiving at all. But every hole that you're on, one of the things I hate about golf is when you're on a course and you can look and you see, okay, there's more, the golfers over there, golfers over there, golfers over there. And it's like, you just want to kind of be with your group, right? And you go to Northwood, you're not going to see the people. You may see them way up there, on the same hole, but you're not going to see people through the woods doing all this because it's very tight, very wooded. And the elevation changes through it. It's just such a gorgeously designed course. Her mom actually painted on the signature hole, which is hole 7. It's a par 5. You start way up at the top and it's just a straight stretch, but there's a marsh on one side and there's water on another side. And then there's this rock, like 300 yards in the middle of the fairway. So if you smoke a perfect drive, chances are you're going to hit that rock. Yep. But now it's a
Hodag.
Wow.
It's painted as a Hodag.
Painted it?
Yes, my mom helped paint that along with a few other ladies from, I believe, the Ladies League. And so that added a little fun element to number 7. Another really scenic hole, 11, with the waterfall. It's a very nice area. 17 is always nice but hard. But it's a really great golf course.
So on the back 9 where 11 is, the 11 tee box, it's like a peninsula green. It's par 3, but 10's green comes in right behind you. You have 12 fairway past the waterfall, and you have 17's green that's coming in at a lower elevation underneath you. So it's kind of like this convergence of holes right there. And it's really kind of fun as you're sitting there. I've donated a lot of balls to that course.
I was going to say, if you said it's like wooded and very narrow.
A lot of water.
But what's really great about that property is like, there's people that travel this state and they go and they golf like all the big ones that get all the love and attention. If you stop and if you're going up, it doesn't matter where you're going up in the Northwoods. Hopefully it's Rhinelander. But if they're going to stop and golf and spend 18 holes at a course, why not do it as the best course in northern Wisconsin? Yeah. I still think it's easily can compete with some of those big courses, but I'm not going to say it's the best in the state because then I'd lose some of my credibility because there are some championship level courses.
That's a bold claim, Beth.
Making a lot of
best golf course in the Northwoods.
I mean, we did host a championship there a few years ago. Actually, the U.S. Deaf Golf Championships were held at Northwoods a couple summers ago. So, I mean, it really is a high level course.
But then in the wintertime, that opportunity to go out there and use it at all times, really, and the property is gorgeous. And so to be able to go out there in the wintertime and test your Nordic skiing or, whatever, fat tire bikes, if you want to have some fun, you can take the driving range down. That is a big hill. You go fast, but the worst part is when you got to come back up. Or did they improve something there? Did you have a tow rope?
No.
Oh, no.
That's on my wish list. If they could install a tow rope, it would be
a little bit of the struggle.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's a struggle.
There we go. Right. Well, anything else you want to add?
We talk so much about Hodag Park, and I just think that one other thing that's really cool about Hodag Park and having, Boom Lake is it's home to a couple of really cool fireworks displays. So our 4th of July fireworks is held at that park, and having that scenic backdrop of the lake is really great, but also you can ride your boat up to watch the fireworks. But something that's really unique, every December we host the Lights of the Northwoods holiday light display in Hodag Park. And so that's a nightly lights display. They have tons of beautiful Christmas lights that they set up, a walking and driving route. But New Year's Day, for the last several years, continuing on hopefully for a long time into the future, we do a winter fireworks display. And if you haven't heard fireworks in like the snow, it's unique. It's a kind of almost a muted sound, but it's really cool. And to hear the fireworks in winter, it's just not something maybe have done before. But it's a really fun way to kind of kick off the new year and end out the holiday season. So super unique.
Yeah, something to plan for sure.
Yeah, well, it sounds like there's so much to do in Rhinelander. I wish we had more time to cover it all, but
if someone's interested, is there a good place where they should go, a website?
Yes, definitely. ExploreRhinelander.com is our website. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. A lot of great, awesome travel tips and things like that. Stop by and see us in the visitor center. Sign our guest book. We just recently shared that we've had 49 different states and 4 countries worth of people that have stopped in just in 2025 so far.
You're missing one state?
41 states.
Oh,
sorry. I'm missing 9 states. Yes. But stop in. We have lots of information and we'd love to have you come visit Rhinelander.
Oh, that's kind of, I want to know the states and then we can track some down and get you to 50.
Yes.
So you filmed there.
Yeah.
You've spent some time there. Okay. So we talk about all these great places that we get to go. Obviously, there's some passion for our hometown. What are you? I think it's a hidden gem. I do. I think we're surrounded by beautiful tourism destinations. And sometimes, like these restaurants and this golf course and some of these great trails and everything that we have. I consider them hidden gems. What do you like? What was your favorite part about filming up there?
I have not spent a lot of time. It's weird because I grew up in Wisconsin, right? But since I grew up on a farm, we didn't do a lot of lake days. Like we never went to the lake. It just wasn't a thing growing up at the Belkey farm, apparently. Like our summers were getting the hay mow, and we just spent time working on the farm. But I think when I went up there and I stayed at Holiday Acres, and having such a peaceful lake there and having just that culture, it was something I feel like I didn't have that in my childhood. And then getting to do that and stay there a few days with Discover Wisconsin, I really loved that resort and I really loved that lake there. And the people there were just so nice.
Yeah.
And so you get kind of a good mixture of a nice, peaceful, escape. And then you can also go downtown. I was so into CT's Deli and Tilly's. And then also the hiking there and kind of just getting to go around and be out in the woods, even though I know the Hodag isn't real. But when you're hiking and walking around in Rhinelander in the forest, there is this element of mystery of, wait, what if I did see a Hodag?
Yeah.
You're kind of just looking around a little more than you normally would. And so I think it has a mix of everything. And that really makes it just a hidden gem of a community because you can really get it all right there.
Yes, I would certainly agree with that. I mean, I'm not biased, but
right.
the people in our community are just amazing. They will always make a guest feel welcome. We have that small town charm, but we have a lot of the big city amenities too. So it really is a unique community.
There's all those resorts, like you're talking about Lake George and Lake Thompson, all those. There's 13 of them. Is it 13?
I believe we're closer to 10 now, but yes.
But regardless of wherever you go, if it's like Brecky's or I don't want to start naming all of them, but they all offer their own little piece of solitude, and you get your place to stay. You have campfires along the lake. Some of them you can rent. Like a pontoon. Take a pontoon ride on one of those lakes. There's 3 lakes over there. And those it doesn't matter which one you're on. It just, you're watching the sun go down. You're just enjoying, being on the water. And then you get to go to a great resort and you can be away from it all. Or if you want to have really great pizza at the end of the night, then you pull your pontoon boat in, you drive over to say Dina Mia, or you can go to Pizza Haven, or you can go to Jailhouse, or you can go to any of these places, right? Kids Corner. Kids Corner is a great pizza. It's more of a take and bake. You can get it made there, but it's typically a take and bake. But you can go and there's such great food. There's such great natural beauty. It is a great place to go.
Well, we started with the pizza and we ended with the pizza. I think that's perfect.
I think that's a great place to end. All right. We already kind of covered where people can find you, but just to reiterate, where can people learn more about Rhinelander?
Yeah, ExploreRhinelander.com and find us on Facebook and Instagram. And we would love to have you visit.
Awesome.
Amazing.
All right, Cabin listeners, that's all we have for today. Be sure to go visit Rhinelander for your next Wisconsin trip, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Practice your Hodag growl.
Today's episode of The Cabin was hosted by Andrea Belke and Megan Christian and produced by Andrea Belke. Audio engineering and video teasers by Nick Cardarella and Megan Christian, with social media by Megan Christian. Production support by Gavin McLean. The Cabin is a production brought to you by Discover MediaWorks. To learn more, head to discovermediaworks.com and don't forget to leave a review.